Okay, it's in between. We don't have to worry about the whole bleeping anymore. Go.
But, yeah, we don't bleep anymore anyways.
I know. Do we bleep?
Can we hear my dogs? Can you hear my dogs going insane?
I don't know.
It's a good thing about having this microphone. If it is World War 53 over here now because the dogs are going. Shelly apparently is home. They are losing their S. All right, what were you going to ask, Sean?
Are you watching Raised by Wolves?
I have not gotten there yet.
Then we can't talk about it.
Well, Abby has me rewatching Handmaid's Tale with her. She wanted to see it.
Okay.
And
Rewatching it?
I've seen it before, and so I'm rewatching it so she can watch it along with me. And it's kind of put me on hold to watch anything else. And plus, we didn't really talk about it on the podcast, but my house got hit by lightning, and it's kind of knocked everything out of my. Did you not know about that, Richard?
No, I didn't realize that. I remember we took a pause because of storms. I didn't realize that was.
Yeah, the same week that you had to take a break as well, Richard. It was coincidental because Todd happened to get hit by lightning.
Basically, it's and I know this exact time because my irrigation system is a smart system, and in it says it stopped working at 6:18. Well, 6:18, and I sleep with earplugs in because I'm a light sleeper. It was so loud in this house, it threw me almost out of bed. I was like, "Oh my god!" And then if you've ever heard what happens after that, you can almost feel the electricity in the air. When you just feel like a buzz, and I could feel my hair standing up, and it blew out. We had to get a totally new breaker panel. We had to replace 2 TVs, the irrigation system. Every one of our Nest thermostats was blown out.
Whoa!
The motherboard on one of our air conditioning units is blown out. It's about $8,000 worth of damage, and because the worst part is my receiver. It's really weird. Got hit, and now things work and don't work. There'll be all of a sudden you can be watching something, and the audio will go out of one channel, or the input where I have my Xbox won't work, and it's just it's chaos. So because of that, the very long story short, I am so behind on stuff, and I knew this came out, and I was like, I just don't have the time to catch up right now.
Oh, yeah. Are we recording? Yeah.
Yeah, we are recording.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's right. You did the in-between announcement. Sorry. Whoa. Hi.
So, real quick. This is not. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, Todd. But how far are you in, Richard? Now.
I think we've only watched the 3 episodes. I want to watch the 4th one.
Yeah. They're actually they put 4 and 5 out. And
4 and 5 at the same time.
Yeah. So I'm keeping it nebulous so Todd doesn't get spoiled or anything, and maybe you too. But remember what we talked about Wednesday at the store, what your theory is?
Yes.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
But it might not be the person you think it is.
Okay.
You have
that's
to
fair.
see.
Okay, that's enough.
Fair. That's fair.
Enough because now I'm watching for people and things and all that, so no more. And I promise by the time we record again, I will get caught up.
We were just talking about what the title of what the show means.
Okay.
And I had a theory about what the title of the show means. And so Sean and I were talking about that. And I guess we're getting further into it, which means maybe I'm right about my theory. So that's all.
Yeah. I would tell you this, Todd. It's one you have to pay attention to because it's not going to sugarcoat anything for you or spell anything out. You're going to have to watch it. And then the second episode, you go, oh, wait, why is that? Oh, what the hell? That kind of stuff. Okay. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss something. And then later you'll go, what?
Now, our listening audience is if they're watching this, is further into the show than we are.
Oh, yeah. This is way in the future.
What I'm enjoying about this show so far, Todd, is this is really good sci-fi in the fact that I'm not necessarily rooting for heroes and villains. And this story can end unhappy, and I'd be fine with it because it's such a really fascinating sci-fi concept.
Okay.
I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't care. I'm enjoying the journey as much as I am the possibility of this reality.
I want to watch it. I think the images I've seen look interesting. I have a love-hate relationship with Ridley Scott. I think that he can be he's incredibly gifted visually. He's incredibly gifted pace-wise, but oftentimes I feel that the characters get shortchanged in his stuff. But I'm hoping. I've heard good things, and what you guys are saying makes me think maybe he's got it this time.
And he pulls a lot of there's a lot of similarities in his Aliens universe.
Yeah, you can see
and how he treats some of the characters and their technology that feels very Ridley Scott.
Okay.
You know.
So speaking of that, and with the boys coming out now, but then with Umbrella Academy coming out like a month ago or something like that.
I think I finished Umbrella Academy yet. Wow. Okay,
what are your feelings? What are your feelings of the complete drop of a series at one time versus we're doing now three episodes to get you whet your appetite, and then weekly for the next month and a half of however many episodes are left? Do you like the get it all at once and you watch it at your pace, or do you like the hey, I'm going to have a week to digest what I just saw and talk about it and figure out what's going on?
I would have little to no opinion if it weren't for what I just said, that I'm now rewatching Handmaid's Tale with Ab, and Handmaid's Tale goes on that release at a week at a time.
It's a Hulu one, so
right?
It comes out, yeah.
The Hulu.
When I watched, I think like all of us, the first season of that, I was like, wow, this is really good. But then as I watched subsequent seasons, it was kind of like, this is getting. I don't know. I'm
as you watched it weekly, you didn't care for it?
Yeah, I'm poking holes in it. But now as I watch this with Ab and we're just shooting straight through, I'm like, okay, outside the fact that Elizabeth Moss cries in every episode and it almost becomes a drinking game, it's much better when I watch it straight through. It's a narrative that I see what they're going for, and I don't have a week to sort of poke holes, and I just do it. So I think there's something to when you watch it straight through, when you binge, you can truly see the vision.
So, but the question is, do you want it released all at once?
I think I prefer that. Ultimately, with what I'm saying, I almost prefer it. But then again, I kind of like the anticipation of it. I don't know. I'm on both sides, really.
If I have I will say this.
You're in new form, and I will spit you from my mouth, Todd. You pick a side. Since
I don't have a weekend like most people where I can sit in front of the television for a few hours. I don't have an afternoon just to watch shows like that. I only have kind of a little bit of time in the evening to watch something. If a show is released all at once, I will stop watching it. I will watch an episode or two, watch an episode, not come back to it. If it releases once a week, I do find myself coming back each week at some point, maybe not the day that it releases, to watch it. So the release all at once, for whatever reason, I might get a few episodes in and then I'll just stop. The weekly release, I actually find myself picking it up at least once a week to watch it, even if it's not on the day that it releases. I prefer once a week release.
I think ultimately it's like this. If you prefer, let's say they're doing it like they're doing with The Boys, where they give you 3 episodes and then it's weekly. If you don't like to watch it weekly, then wait until all the episodes are released and binge it. Now you're behind on the narrative that everybody's talking about, but you can still watch it the way you want to.
That's what I was going to say. It's similar to comic books and trade paperbacks and stuff. There are people, that would complain about, 1985, Watchmen is coming out, and it's coming out later and later. Each issue is later and later. And yeah, you complain about it then, but guess what? Now, in the future, you can just pick up the book and read it at your own pace. And you don't, that delay does not affect the quality and storytelling. It only affects the people that were right there at the time. So people, that discover The Boys next year for the first time, they're going to have 2 full seasons that they have right at their fingertips.
And they can binge it then. But I like being able to check back into a channel. It makes me remind the channel is there. It makes me come back to HBO. It makes me come back to Hulu. It makes me come back to these things once a week. I do a World of Wonder for the RuPaul fans that want to watch the next episode of Drag Race. Or I can go back and rewatch an entire season if I want to watch that, if I want to have that afternoon where I just watch something.
And for, like you said, for somebody that has limited time, that whenever you come back, it's a little bit of gamification where it's, hey, there's a little new symbol here. Man, I need to punch that and see what the new is that I want to see. So they get you coming back by showing you something a little sparkly or bright.
So Sean, what do you prefer?
I prefer all at one time, but that doesn't mean I have to watch it all at one time.
Okay.
I'd rather have it all there for me to consume at my pace rather than the pace that you want me to consume it at. I mean, we live in a world of DVR now, so that you don't have to sit there and watch a commercial. You can wait 15 minutes into a show and then watch it straight through in an hour show and not see any commercials. I'm watching. They made it at their pace, but I'm getting to consume it at my pace.
So that brings up that with the lightning hit my house, we had the conversation here because apparently where the lightning came in was on some lines from DirecTV, and that's at least how we believe it came in. I'm sorry, I don't like DirecTV. I have it. It infuriates the shit out of me, partially because I don't watch networks. The only network I watch, I love Deadliest Catch. That's probably my reality show that I will watch, but you can get that on a streaming service. You can go get Hulu TV. It came to where Shelly and I ended up talking about it. You know, do we need to keep this? Do you guys still watch network shows? I mean, I don't watch anything on the majors. And like I said, I might watch something on Discovery, but you can get that elsewhere. Are there things that you watch that you could only get through broadcast?
Only through broadcast, or hang on.
I think the last thing that we watched that would have been considered broadcast were the two sitcoms, The Good Place and Will and Grace.
Okay.
Those are the last two things we watched as a network show. Everything else seems to be a streaming service. It doesn't mean it wasn't once on network. Well, but we did catch up. Like Good Place, we saw it on streaming, and then we started recording it each week so we could watch it as it came out. Will and Grace, we also watched. We would record DVR of those, watch them come out. We would do that with RuPaul's Drag Race on VH1. We'd watch that. We'd record that as well and then watch that. I can't think of like a drama that we would do that with.
So as I was working to replace everything in this house, one of the calls I had to make was to DirecTV. And initially I was like, pull it out of my house, partially because I'm paying too much. We don't use it. Found out at that point, because I have the 4K feed, I still had 9 months left on a contract that I don't ever remember agreeing to, but that's beside the point. So we're keeping it. And when it's done, we're going to cord cut. I got into a fight with the lady. It was a very friendly fight. Where she tried to tell me about how satellite TV is actually going to stay and streaming will not be the thing that takes over. And I was like, sweetheart, I work for a company. What I do is streaming video, and you're absolutely wrong. You know, and it's gonna come to the point where you don't want devices. You can just get your immediate content anyway. Because with Hulu TV, with Sling, with all these different things, you can get the live networks. You can still watch Will and Grace.
And guess what? When it rains, my streaming content doesn't go down.
Oh, I tried to explain that to her. I said, okay, doing what I do for a living, rain fade is something that I talk about almost daily when I'm talking about they need a satellite, they need this. I don't want to deal with it at home. I don't want to come home and watch something and go,
God damn it, it's raining. Well, we're done for tonight.
Yeah. So it was, of all the things that I dealt with, you know, we had to stay in a hotel for a night because there was no air in the house, and DirecTV was by far the worst. It was just the one phone call was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to kill this poor sweet lady. But I was just curious, you know, when we talk about binge, when we talk about it, I'm just curious how many people out there still even really watch network shows anymore. Well,
see, I do watch network shows, partially because I don't have kids, so I got more time than you do. And my tastes are run towards things that are still running on network TV.
What do you watch on network TV?
Let's see here. I can tell you. Go over my season passes. And see, this is also the nice thing. Yes, I could watch stuff on Hulu. I could watch stuff on Roku or Slingbox or whatever.
Stumptown is what you watch.
It's nice to have it all in one spot instead of having to search every service to try to find it.
But because I did experiment with it, Hulu TV and YouTube TV have DVRs within them. It's just instead of getting your signal over satellite, it's coming in, and it's basically live TV. You can still get it. It's just infinitely cheaper, and you still are getting it placed in one place.
Now, again, these are all available on other services, I know, but America's Test Kitchen on PBS. Big Brother, Bob's Burgers, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, a show called Carter that's on WGN, Conan, Christopher Kimball's Milk Street, Celebrity Show Off, Creep Show, Cook County, Dave, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Dead Pixels, Doctor Who, Duncanville, Fargo.